It's really at night or early in the morning when I first get up and I go, oh my God, this is still going on. And candidly, I worry more about the fact that I may never see my kids again because they don't live here. And I'm part of that vulnerable population. And who knows how long this will go on so that I can fly to LA or to Dallas. It was the first major drop in the market since the Depression. No one had ever experienced a 25% drop in one day. It was a Monday. And I think the most important thing I learned in '87 was how important it was not to be alone. I was very new in the business, and I literally didn't know enough about the market to have a perspective that I have today. So I have a totally different perspective today. But back then, I really didn't know. And so one of the things the firm did was they, put a group together. But I was still pretty down and out about it. I didn't know what to do with my clients. I thought that I had sort of lost all their money for life. And I happened to talk to my daughter. She was just working in New York. And she says, Mom, I don't really understand why you are so, depressed about this, because I am walking the streets of New York. The birds are chirping. The sky is blue. And people are actually smiling here. And so I went outside, and sure enough, the sky was blue, the birds were chirping, and people were smiling, and it wasn't the end of the world. And I think that sometimes we get in a little bubble and we think it's the end of the world. And then the company put together a group meeting up in Fort Lauderdale. I live in Miami. And it was really, back then they had the swap box. So we were going to all meet, all the advisors from South Florida were going to meet and, chat with the home office and the experts. And so one of the guys came up to me and said, Margaret, I was the only woman, I should say, came up to me and said, would you mind taking notes? And one thing I learned early was to always be prepared for a meeting, and I always take an agenda. And so I said, I have an agenda for our get together today. Do you have an agenda? Does anyone have an agenda? No one had an agenda. So I said, well, I think it's better that you get someone else to take notes and I lead the meeting. And I will say to all women, get out and see that the sky's blue, the birds are chirping, and always be prepared to lead. You know what you have to do, because we've been through this a long time. And we began to see that this may not be over. In the beginning, we thought, by Memorial Day, we should be maybe back to work. Literally, that's what everybody was saying, right? Well, we know now that's not going to be the case. So the most important thing is not to really be isolated or stay in a bubble. Reach out and form your own Zoom groups. I've done that. And it really makes a big difference, whether it's your book club or whether it's some other advisors, because I'm amazed at how many people are very open to joining you on a Zoom conversation. Being isolated, I think, is very dangerous. And you cannot over worry about this problem. The market will come back. The world will come back. It's just, and you might need to be an advocate on how it comes back. Even though we're all working remotely and using technology and Zoom, I think we're starting to see how important the human touch is. I grew up in a world where you did not hug, you did not kiss, you bowed. You didn't even really shake hands much. Well, right now, I'm open to hugging. And I think my friends would be very surprised to hear that.